might be wondering why this dude can solo ENCH bosses easily, but he's giving up deaths on Dust and another fight. Now I am making a couple of mistakes that I will discuss through this video, but before that, let's jump into the fight number 1 that is going to be against Mephisto. That is on lane number 2, so node number 2, that is a Mephisto right now. And the nodes are pretty straightforward here, and we have brought in a Void, and we are just going to wait out and play slowly. And for his power gains, we will keep him to an SP1 only and keep baiting it out. And once you have that heal block on him, rest is easy peasy. His power rate is going to be reduced because of the tactic, and Void takes him down quite easily. There you have it. Now the first lane that was assigned was lane number 2, node number 2, and again node number 11. And moving on after that, I was moved to lane number 4, where again we're gonna face the same Dust at node 31. More on it after this fight. So here we are with a quite easy Kushala to deal with, especially with Void being a Secutor champion. You don't really have to worry about the power gain on the opponent. Even if your heal block is not applied, as soon as you get one of those petrify buffs, they do the same thing. They keep the power in check so that power flood does not affect that much. Probably one of the best champions for the Secutor meta. And I happen to have a Sig 40 7-star rank 3 Void, so I think I will be using him more going on into the season. He makes quite a few of those fights easy and takes out quite a bit of mini bosses as well. We are just ticking down Kushala and just got hit with an SP1 there. Fear of the Void is there, so no need to worry about the power gain at all. Still, there is a heal block on, ending up with an SP1 here, and boom, Kushala is down. There we have it. Now I've been wondering what mistakes I'm making here. So this is starting off with the same Dust fight. The first phase I get, she just dashes back, usual Dust things, no problems. I go back in and I try to attack her. I get to my SP2 very quickly because I start with the power start 1 and tech boost, and so far the fight is going good. The problem is going to happen as soon as that power sting comes up. Now this is where I was making the mistake. At the start of the video I told you that wait, there are a couple of mistakes I'm making. This is number 1. I am not focusing on the power sting. I have to manipulate my combo meter in a way where I can use a 5-hit combo followed by a 3 or a 2-hit combo, and I still have a cushion of 2 hits that I can apply before I can use any of my special attacks, so the power sting is not there. This time around the fight was a bit better. I almost got her down. She is down to 30%, but again the Provocateur tactic came into play and I missed and she got me down. Now I had a really good chat with one of my alliance mates. Here is the YouTube channel from Truth Comic. If you are not subscribed, make sure you do. Amazing gameplay, and if you want to really look at this fight, that fight is also across multiple videos. I will leave the link in the description down below, so check it out. So after I take her out, next fight is going to be against a 38 mini against an NTW. Now I'm very comfortable with this fight, and I'm like, you know what, that's going to be a quick, easier fight. I'm just going to keep the heal block up, and there you have it. Now it was fine up till now until the heal block was up. Now I'm trying to bait an SP1 or SP2 here, and she's just not throwing it. And look at that power gain, just takes her to an SP3. Now the biggest mistake I made here, I did not run an invulnerability boost or a 33% SP3 reduction boost. So learn my lesson here. That's just mistake number 2. So I am going to always now run invulnerability and also an SP3 boost when I'm using a champion that does not have many debuffs. For example, if I'm running with Vision, I'm going to do that. If I'm running a Void, or if I'm running a Joe Fixit, or if I'm running like a Shuri or an Ironheart, that is fine because they apply a lot of debuffs, so the heal block is always applied on the opponent, but if you're using champions that have less debuffs, for example like Viv Vision, like Mr. Negative, for them you will need. But I came back in and played a lot slower this time, just made sure that I bait the SP1s out, and I was able to take down NTW. So one of the bigger things I've realized, I'm rushing the fights too much, just because I think I'm in a new alliance maybe, or a new season, and I'm having my jitters, and I'm giving up those kills. So I have to slow down a little bit, and then I can take out the opponent quite comfortably in the end. Just here, I'm gonna use a striker, heavy attack to remove the protection, and then as soon as he dashes in, SP1. Now this one death could have been easily avoided, but well, learn my lesson here. She was also very stingy, but yeah. Once we were done with that, we move on to the boss island. Now this fight is, I think, node number 47, and this is going to be a destroyer. Again, a tactic defender, and I'm gonna use a void here. Pretty straightforward fight, to be honest. Also, void being immune to incinerate, so this is like a perfect counter to this fight. You just slowly build up your petrifies. Once you have your petrifiers, you don't have to worry anything about the power gains, because the petrifiers are going to stay up, and after the petrifiers there is going to be fear of void. So the only slow play you have to do is in the beginning until you get the petrifiers up or you get the heal block up. Once you have that, you don't need to worry about the miss, you don't need to worry about the power gain. All of that is taken care of by the heal block and the petrify. So now I'm just playing slow, waiting for the fear of void to go up. And now I am faltered, so something I need to be careful about. Well, I got hit, my indestructible ran out there. But yeah, pushing him to another SP2, making sure that the heal block is up there. Now I don't need to worry about the miss. So with void or champions that have easy access to kind of debuffs are much easier to deal with in this meta. So your Shuris, your Ironhearts, your voids, all of these champions like Joe Fixit, they're quite easier to play. But when you play with other champions that do not have easy access to those debuffs and rely on heal blocks, that is where the trouble happens. So learn my lesson, won't be repeating in the next war. But hey, we were able to solo everything else. There was a death on that NTW where she was very stingy to throw a special. I should have ran an SP3 boost. And for Dust, still learning that fight, but I learned from Truth Comic how to manipulate your combo so you can be always ahead of the curve of the power sting. So those two I'm gonna take up on my next war. And again, I was assigned the boss. This time it was a 7-star rank 3, quite tanky. It's crazy how much of a difference there is when it's a 7-star rank 3 and a 6-star ascended, because 6-star ascended just melts away. But with a 7-star rank 3, she gets a lot more armor and a lot more HP, so it's a little harder to bring her down. But anyway, here I am. I've removed all the spells through my SP1 and the heal block is up. I don't need to worry about the power gain. Now I'm gonna use 3-hit combos and push her to an SP3. Had my striker, so I went back in, ending up with an SP1, and I am able to bring her down to 75%. Now I think I ate 2 hits and my vulnerability boost is gone for 2 of those instances. Now the third one, I'm able to block this SP3, and here we are again. I'm just gonna slow play it again, wait for her to throw an SP1, evade that. Now again, wait for her to throw a heavy attack. We're gonna interrupt it, remove the orange, the green spell. Now with an intercept with light attack, we remove the other spell. Now again, we are good. We don't need to worry about her throwing a special and doing a lot of damage to us. We are again pushing her to an SP3, and in the meanwhile, we get a striker as well, and going back in with a 5-hit combo and SP1 with 4 spades, so that is going to be a lot of damage. Now she's going to get back up and throw that SP3. Learn my lesson from the last 2 fights. I am using a SP3 33% reduction boost, so that is going to help me and not take much damage, only 17%. So that is one way to mitigate the damage from this tactic. So if you guys are going to run your fights for the path fights even, if you're running a tactic fight, I would suggest you to go for the SP3 33%, and if you're running a 7-star, you get that mini game that also reduces the damage. So all in all, it works out for you. And if you notice that I am healing back up because I'm using light attack combos and he's giving me the hard suit, and all 4 of them will help me heal back up. And just like that, she is down to 15%, and I am just gonna wait another SP1, wait for her to throw a heavy, and then remove that spell, end up with an SP1, and there she goes. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.